Hey, hello! It's 9:45. I'm TK, and this is Coach on the Rocks. Thank you for tuning in, and welcome to this episode. Hopefully, you're having a wonderful week. So, recently, I've read an article by Dr. Perlus. She's a sports psychologist and talking about leaders. It's one thing that I found quite interesting in what she said, because she has written about the important thing every leader needs to do if they want to be successful. Essentially, she was writing in about the productivity of leaders. And as we all know, either being leaders ourselves or working with leaders or helping leaders grow, there's a lot on your head. You have to be very productive as a leader to be able to succeed. And one thing that I think is quite key here is making sure that you find the right strategy. So she outlines quite a few, and one of which is something that I really focus on when working with leaders and also myself as a leader, which is making sure you manage your energy and not only your time. What do I mean by that? Well, many people say that they're obviously incredibly busy and they don't have time. Now, interestingly, it might be true for many people, including myself. You might have a busy schedule. But what you will find is time is a known quantity. We all can use certain tricks and we all have 24 hours in a day. Yes, like the 5 a.m. club and all this. Okay, fine. I'm not going to go into that, but it's important to take care of your physical well-being, which means like getting enough sleep, especially if you're no longer 20. Just saying. But what you might find yourself with is a situation where you've made the time, you've actually scheduled the time to do something that's really important, but when the time comes and you've got the space, you find yourself lacking energy. And then what happens usually is you go procrastinating. You do other things that are easier. You tend to forget about it. There's all kinds of strategies for procrastination, which are perfectly natural for us human beings. It's like, this is a natural protection mechanism not to burn yourself out. This is your mind and body giving you signs that you should probably take a step back. And yet, you still need to do these difficult things, right? This big thing needs to be done. Sometimes there's a deadline, so there's a bit easier because in the Eisenhower matrix, it's something you need to do. So your mind will tell you, well, I need to bite the bullet, eat the frog, so might as well. But there are more difficult situations where there is no deadline and you can theoretically not do it. There's a cost of delay. There's a cost of lost opportunity. But you might find yourself, maybe I'll do it next week. Maybe I'll do it tomorrow because the deadline is actually the day after tomorrow, so it will be fine. And then what happens is when you actually have to do it because, you need to send it or something, or you need to get it done for whatever reason, you're stressed, you're less creative, you feel pushed, you feel rushed, and so on and so forth. That aside, when the time is right, you probably need to have the energy to be able to do just that. And that's the whole thing. You can manage time, which is a known quantity. It follows also physics and diary. But when it comes to managing energy, it's a bit more difficult. If you have all the time in the world, but no will, energy, nothing to be able to push, to be able to do what needs to be done, you will struggle to be productive and to succeed. Now, the thing is that it's easy to use this, and I think this is the point I'm making, which is it's easy to say to someone, "Oh, I don't have time. I'm too busy." It's like I have a busy schedule, because this is an objectively good excuse. But we don't find ourselves saying, "Sorry, it's just I have no energy for that today." And this seems like just suck it up, just like do it. I don't care if you don't have energy, which is something our internal critic would say to ourselves. We're not necessarily being taught to say that. And thus we might blame ourselves a bit more and think it's like, yeah, energy is just like, and this motivation thing is just something on the side. The time is the important thing. I believe it's the other way around. I believe we need to admit to ourselves when we have a problem with energy and apply some strategies to deal with that, right? There are a few. Personally, what I believe is, there's probably quite a few episodes that I would need to do about that, but mainly, maybe 3 strategies. Let's go with that. 1, rest. Simple as that. It's not always easy for people that, are a bit workaholic to rest. Learn how to do that. Take a vacation. It's summer. Many people do. Whatever mode of resting is best for you, do that. 2, find what gives you energy. If you don't have anything that gives you energy, maybe you haven't been searching enough. If nothing gives you energy, think about if you're suffering from depression, because it's a real thing. Let's not be afraid of saying that. If you're really drained and there's a symptom, there's different videos about it, so think about your mental health. But if you find there's nothing I like doing, there is. You probably need to think about it and try a few things. It really helps. It gives you energy, right? I paint miniature wargaming miniatures, which is the third strategy too, and maybe the fourth, which is engage in a creative activity. If you create something, your brain will automatically practice creativity. And I think for me personally, it gives me energy. And engage in a mindfulness activity, which obviously painting wargaming miniatures absolutely is. It's also a social activity if you need to go out and actually use them to play with people. I did play Warhammer 40,000. It's like, I was lucky. I found something that combines a lot of activities that give me energy. Plus, it's intellectually stimulating and so on. I'm sure you have your own activities. And if you don't, you might want to find them, because it is important to acknowledge that it's not just about time. The energy might be more important. Second, if it's about the energy and you've learned to acknowledge it, find ways to regain it. Not to completely burn out to zero, so it's very difficult to recharge. I guess it's a longer topic whatsoever. But my main point is, it's not just time. Managing your energy may be more important. Like managing your energy to tune in at 9:45 every workday. So I will see you tomorrow at the regular time. Bye-bye.